Good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible and visible to everyone. Okay, thank you. So let's begin with today's session that is on VARC. So before we move on to the session on VARC, let me introduce you to Vikalp Education. Okay, Vikalp Education is basically started in 2013 and we are training students for campus recruitment training, for competitive exam, for CAT, CET and other MBA entrances. So I welcome you all on behalf of Vikalp Education. I am Shweta Chaurasia, a mentor and center manager of Vikalp Education, Ramnagar, Nagpur. So just to begin with this session, I call upon our director, sir, Mr. Rishi Chaurasia. He is going to take you through the session of observation. Believe me, friends, these type of sessions are really important for not only for your knowledge upgradation, but to give you a different thought process that how you can think different than others. Okay, so let me give you a brief description about our director, sir, Mr. Rishi Chaurasia. Sir is basically a management graduate. He completed his MBA from Mumbai. He is holding a diploma in mergers and acquisition from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management and Studies. Sir is having more than 15 years of experience in CAT training, specifically for aptitude development. Sir was previously with Time Career Launcher, Mumbai. In 2013, he moved to Nagpur and started Vikalp Education with a very clear vision to provide best aptitude training to the students. So today we are going to start with this session with Rishi sir, wherein he will be helping you out to understand how observation is really important in your aptitude building. So it's over to you, sir.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you just come say someone can just tell me, am I audible?
Yes,
Okay, perfectly fine. Okay, thank you so much, Shweta man, for the introduction. And then, see, in today's session, we will be talking about a lot more about VARC, verbal ability and reading comprehension, how to crack VARC section. Amar sir will be joining us soon. But what I thought is like make this session more interactive. So I have come up with a puzzle. Before you go with the puzzle, I wanted to show you a small video, a 20-second video, and I hope you will understand what exactly I'm trying to ask. Try. I will give after that video. I will give 1 or 2 minute. Question is on your screen. Okay. So I will give you the approach of solving these type of questions. ठीक है? तो ये वीडियो पहले ध्यान से सुनिएगा. Give me a moment. सब एक दूसरे से हाथ मिलाओ और अपना अपना नाम बताओ. जल्दी करो, सिर्फ 10 सेकंड है तुम्हारे पास. Stop. Is video screen visible? Is video screen visible? Okay, fine. So I'm showing you a video of a very famous movie of Mr. Hrithik Roshan, Super 30. सब एक दूसरे से हाथ मिलाओ और अपना अपना नाम बताओ. जल्दी करो, सिर्फ 10 सेकंड है तुम्हारे पास. Stop. अब बताओ कितना हैंड साइड हो. सर 30 गुना 30 900 होगा सर. गलत.
सर 870 30 गुना 29 खुद से हाथ नहीं मिलाना सर.
गलत. सब एक दूसरे से हाथ मिलाओ और अपना अपना नाम बताओ. So basically you got the point here. What I'm trying to ask is, let's say in a classroom of 30 people, if they will do handshakes within themselves, how many handshakes will be there? Don't answer by unmuting your mic. Just type in a chat box privately to me. I wanted to know the answers. Let us see the approach. I got an answer from one of the candidate. Very good, Devanshi. Anyone? Type it privately so nobody can see apart from you and me. Okay, Sarika has missed by a bit number, and I requested Sarika, don't answer on public. Just send it to me personally, Vikalp Education. You have write it on to everyone. Okay, no problem. See, so why I have took this question, why I have given this understanding, if you will go with a mathematical concept, मैथमेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट में आपको ये वाला फॉर्मूला पता होना चाहिए जो कि प्रैक्टिकली हम सभी लोगों के लिए, बीइंग अ कॉमर्स ग्रेड, टू मी आल्सो अ बिट डिफिकल्ट इनिशियल डेज में जब मैं स्टार्ट किया था प्रिपरेशन. सो अगर मुझे इसको सॉल्व करना है, आई नीड टू नो द एनसीआर फॉर्मूला, द बेसिकली द परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन logic that I was trying to say. But please try and understand, there are observations that we can do. There are very good observations are available. अगर आप वो observations करेंगे तो you can get an answer. So a small observation from my side. अगर आप इनको ऑब्जर्वेशन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मैं डालूं, अगर मैं फंडामेंटली जाऊं तो फंडामेंटली अनडाउटेबली ये फॉर्मूले का इस्तेमाल करके करने का अगर मैं आपको समझाऊं, अनडाउटेबली ये पढ़ना पड़ेगा. अगर आप मैथ्स की तैयारी करेंगे, इसको छोड़ नहीं सकते. यू कैन नॉट इग्नोर दिस. यू नीड टू नो दीज पर्टिकुलर कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑल्सो. बट फिर भी अगर हमारे को बेसिक से है, हमारे पास कॉन्सेप्ट्स नहीं पता है, तो हम कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते थे वो मैं बताऊंगा. बट बिफोर दैट, एक्चुअल कॉन्सेप्ट ये कहता है कि there are 30% in classroom, I need to select any two out of it. तो अगर मुझे किसी दो को सिलेक्ट करना है तो I need two selection out of 30 that can be done in 30C2 ways, and then you can apply this formula. So when you will solve this 30C2, you will get some answer for it. तो इसके लिए आपके पास डेफिनेटली क्या पता होना चाहिए, आपको पता होना चाहिए 30C2 कैसे निकाला जाता है. पहली बात, कॉम्बिनेशन और कॉम्बिनेशन क्या होता है वो पता होना चाहिए. बट अगर ये नहीं पता है, स्टिल यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई द आंसर बाय अ बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग. कैन आई से this is the beauty of maths, this is the beauty of logic that is I'm trying to convey here. Can I say in a briefly, first person will make a handshake with 29 others, तो पहला वाला बंदा 29 handshakes करेगा. Although second will also do 29 handshake, third will also do 29 handshakes, क्योंकि there are 30% in classroom, तो हर एक को 29 करना है. बट मुझे अगर काउंट करना है तो I can count it like this. First person will handshake for 29 persons. Second जो person होगा वो रिमेनिंग 28 के साथ करेगा, क्योंकि पहले के साथ उसका हैंडशेक ऑलरेडी हो चुका है. तो आई कैन से सेकंड विल काउंट, सेकंड पर्सन जो रहेगा उसको 28 हैंडशेक्स करने हैं आगे. थर्ड पर्सन 27, बिकॉज फर्स्ट के सेकंड के साथ एंड फर्स्ट के साथ वो ऑलरेडी हैंडशेक कर चुका है. सो द बेस्ट वे इज दिस लॉजिक विल एक्सटेंड टिल द लास्ट पर्सन ओनली. तो आखिरी में एक पर्सन बच जाएगा जो ऑलरेडी बाकी लोगों से 29 लोगों से हैंडशेक कर चुका होगा. सो कैन आई से इन अ सिंपल सेंटेंस, आई नीड टू ऐड दीज वैल्यूज. अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करें, यहाँ जस्ट एक ऑब्जर्वेशन रखें, मुझे 29, 28, 27, 26 को इन अ ब्रॉडर सेंस केवल ऐड करना है. और अगर मुझे इनको ऐड करना है तो ऐड करने के लिए मैं अगर थोड़ा सा इसको डिफाइन करूं, आई जस्ट नीड टू नो समेशन करना है मुझे कितनों को, n-1 को. अब समेशन ऑफ n-1 मतलब n इज द नंबर ऑफ पर्सन इन द क्लास और नंबर ऑफ पर्संस इन द नंबर ऑफ पर्संस हो सकते हैं. n-1 इसलिए किया क्योंकि हमको समेशन ऑफ 29 करना है. अब एक बेसिक फॉर्मूला, आई थिंक अरिथमेटिक में ये सबने 10वीं में पढ़ा होगा, ये भले ही आपने ना पढ़ा हो, बट 10वीं में ये फॉर्मूला समेशन ऑफ n नेचुरल नंबर का 10 तक आपने जरूर पिया होगा. दैट इज n इंटू n+1/2. तो आई जस्ट नीड टू अप्लाई n हियर. यहां पर n हो जाएगा समेशन ऑफ n-1 मतलब 29. n नीड टू बी 29. आई नीड टू पुट 29 ओवर हियर. 29 into 30 divide by 2. The first answer what we got was perfectly correct. 435 handshakes होंगे उस क्लास में. तो ये इस तरीके के ऑब्जर्वेशन आप कर सकते हैं अगर आपको कुछ बेसिक चीजें पता हो. अब द बेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ दिस इज, कैन एनीबडी टेल मी, इस बार अगर वर्ल्ड कप में, क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप में, ठीक है, क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप में 10 टीमें थी, तो उनमें आपस में कितने मैचेस हुए थे? इज इट रिलेटेड टू द सिमिलर कॉन्सेप्ट और देयर आर सम डिफरेंस कॉन्सेप्ट? तो प्रोबेबली कुछ और अलग थिंकिंग रखना पड़ेगा हमको. 10 टीमें थी, ये मैं आपको बता रहा हूं. लास्ट वर्ल्ड कप जो क्रिकेट का हुआ था 2019, जिसमें इंडिया सेमीफाइनल में न्यूजीलैंड के साथ हार गया था, तो उसमें 10 टीमें थी, उसमें भी इसी टाइप का कुछ था. तो कैन आई से वो भी सिमिलर कॉन्सेप्ट था? सारिका हैज गिवन आंसर. ओके, नो सारिका, थोड़ा सा मिस कर गए आप. इट शुड नॉट बी समेशन ऑफ 10 बेटा, इट शुड बी समेशन ऑफ, ये बिल्कुल सेम कॉन्सेप्ट है. द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इज, आप हैंडशेक करने जाएंगे या फिर नंबर ऑफ मैचेस की बात करेंगे लीग में, दोनों ही सिचुएशन में बिल्कुल सेम रहेगा. देवांशी सक्सेना इज अगेन ऑन स्पॉट, बिल्कुल करेक्ट आंसर है अगेन उनका. सो अगर 10 टीमें हैं तो मुझे किसी भी मैच के लिए 2 टीमें चाहिए. जस्ट लाइक यहां पर क्या हो रहा था, किसी भी हैंडशेक के लिए 2 लोग चाहिए, वैसे यहां पर भी 2 टीमें चाहिए. सो आई नीड टू गेट एन आंसर फ्रॉम 10C2 और समेशन ऑफ 10-1. तो समीशन ऑफ 10-1 मतलब समीशन ऑफ 9. तो पहले 9 नंबर का समीशन होगा 45 मैचेस. दीज आर द लीग राउंड मैचेस, 2 सेमीफाइनल और एक फाइनल, इस तरह से 48 मैचेस हुए थे. बट मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाह रहा था, तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट सेम है, कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है. ये इसको अगर आप अप्लाई करेंगे, ऑब्जर्वेशंस करते रहना है चीजों में. मैथ्स में ज्यादातर ऑब्जर्वेशन है, और कैट या कोई भी बड़े एमबीए एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में यही ऑब्जर्वेशन स्किल्स की जरूरत है आपको. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, ये आपको डेवलप करनी होंगी. आपको कोई अच्छे मेंटर्स की जरूरत है जहां पर ये चीजें डिस्कस की जाती है, शेयर की जाती है. ठीक है, सो आई थिंक दैट्स इट. ये मैंने आपको इन्फॉर्म किया, डिस्कस किया. आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इसको आप अप्लाई करेंगे. आप एक ट्राई कर सकते हो, होमवर्क में आपको दे रहा हूं. Identify the number of matches in any tennis grand slam. There is a specific weightage of tournament based questions in nowadays. जितने भी एग्जाम्स आते हैं, आप अगर कैट जेट बड़े एग्जाम्स देखेंगे, टूर्नामेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. तो किसी भी ग्रैंड स्लैम में, लेट से मैन सिंगल या वुमेन सिंगल में, नंबर ऑफ मैचेस कितने होते हैं वो आप आइडेंटिफाई कीजिएगा. इससे थोड़ा डिफरेंट है, बट ट्राई कीजिएगा. ठीक है, सो दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय साइड. इट्स ओवर टू श्वेता मैम. मैं जस्ट इसको वो कर दूं.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So we are going to start with the journey of Vikalp education. As you can see it in on your screen, Vikalp education is basically into aptitude development. As I've already mentioned, we have associated with more than 100 institutes in Mumbai, Nagpur, Wardha, Bhandara, Chhindwara, and entire central India. So far, we have trained more than 30,000 students. This is the old figure which we have written out here. We have a team of professionals with affiliate corporate as well as academic background. So very soon I will be sharing our mentor list with you and the faculty training. So we also have 30 plus corporate expertise. Those are associated with us for management development program. So this is all about Vikalp education. If you wanted to know more, you can visit our website or you can go to our LinkedIn page or Facebook page. Now, starting with the MBA entrances, as we all are aware that the first exam of the season is CAT, followed by ZAT, MAT, ETMA, then SNAP is there, TISNET is there, IIFT is there, and MAT is there, and last exam is Maharashtra CET. So, if you are confused about which examination to go for, we are here to help you. So in case after this session, if you feel like which examination to fill and how to start with our preparation, we will be happy to address all your doubts. So this is all about the list of examination. Now in most of the examination, along with the aptitude preparation, there are personal interview, there are written ability tests, there are group discussions. So we are also providing all these facilities to our students. Now starting with the CAT pattern, if you'll see, CAT seems to be a difficult exam. It's not just only that it is difficult in terms of questions, but there are a lot of things that makes CAT a little competitive exam, I would say, as it is for all the IIMs that are the topmost institutes of our country. So it starts with the first section, that is VARC, and today our session is entirely going to be on VARC, where we are going to discuss how to improve your score in VARC section. The next one is data interpretation, logical reasoning, and the last section is your quantitative ability. So the number of questions are displayed over here. So in VARC, we have 34 questions, data interpretation, 32 questions. That is LRDI, we call it. and quantitative we have 34 questions. Now the best part about this examination is there is a sectional time. So to each of the section 60 minutes is given to you. So this is about the CAT entrance exam. Now let's move on to the B schools that we can move by giving CAT entrances. So 20 IIMs, as you all can see in this, even 4 IITs are also included. Okay, so these are the top 50 institutes, I would say, who are offering a salary of more than 12 lakh per annum. So this is the beauty of doing MBA after any graduation. That is the only reason, if you'll see, every year the number of candidates are increasing, not only for CAT but for other entrances also. So if I talk about 2019, there were around 2.5 lakh students who appeared for CAT entrance. Now talking about Maharashtra CET, as we are from Maharashtra, so this is again one of the prominent option with you. So this is how the section is being divided. Here, if you'll see, the focus is on reasoning, and reasoning is further divided into two parts, logical and abstract. So out of 200, 100 marks is given to logical reasoning and abstract reasoning. So reasoning is a key over here. Apart from that, again, VARC is a part where 50 questions are there in VARC section, and quantitative ability, again 50 questions. So if you are going to ask me, the level of difficulty of this examination is going to be quite easier. So if you are preparing for CAT, Maharashtra CET is going to be a cakewalk for you. So these are few topmost institutes under Maharashtra CET. So we have Jamnalal Bajaj, we have Sednim, Wellinger, Somaiya, St. Xavier, Dalmia, SIES, Chetna. So these are the colleges from Mumbai. Now we have colleges from Pune also, that is Pumba, Indra, MIT, Sinhagad, DY Patil. And in Nagpur also we have colleges like DBM, Ramdev Baba, Ambedkar, Tirpode. Okay. Now in this, in Mumbai, like colleges like JB, KG Somaiya, they are having their entrances apart from CET. So further we can discuss if you are interested to go for CET entrances. So we will help you in this. In CET, there is no negative marking. Nikita asked me a question, ma'am, is there any negative marking in CET? No, in CET, we do not have any negative marking, but yes, of course, in CAT examination, negative marking is there. Now, just to begin with, why you should join Vikalp Education. So I would simply tell you that you should join an institute which is very dedicated towards the preparation for the students. Okay. Now, the best part about Vikalp is that we are giving personal attention to our student. That is really required for any entrances that you are going for. And the pedagogy that we are following is going to be one of the best if you are going to start the preparation with us. So we are starting with a novice, with a beginner level, where we will be focusing on your concept building. And after your concept building, we are going to start with the competent level, where different kind of questions are being given to you just to check that how well you are with your concept building. Apart from that, if once you are clearing or you are just moving from competent to proficiency, in proficiency we are going to check your proficiency through mocks, through different topic tests. So this is how your entire evaluation is being done. And once you are through with all the levels, I ensure you one thing, that nobody can stop you to get into a top B school. And I hope why pursue an MBA is something which you all know, because it is going to be a best career opportunity in your life. Then in terms of salary also, if you'll see, it is going to be one at par with any post graduation that you are thinking of. Now I will just move on quickly through the strategies, the preparation strategies that we offer at Vikalp. because Amar sir is already here. So very soon we will be starting with the VARC session. Now starting with the 5 points preparation strategy. Aptitude is the very first level which we will start with, because this is going to be a first part of your entrance exam, where your numerical ability is being checked, logical reasoning is checked, verbal ability is being checked. Now apart from these skills, you also have to be very good with your reading skills. So to improve your reading skills, we will be doing book reviews, we will be doing editorials of newspapers like the Hindu, Indian Express, and Times of India. We will also recommend you few magazines. So during this session, Amar sir will be helping you out with few good magazines which you can read. Knowledge upgradation sessions, of course, they are required, because without them your entire personality is not going to get changed. Okay, so MBA is not only about a degree, it is about a personality change. Okay, and that is only going to happen if you are doing knowledge upgradation on a regular basis. So knowledge upgradation sessions are going to be with the current affairs that we are going to take weekly, monthly. We are also going to discuss the topics through group discussions. We are also going to do debates in the classroom. Now, next point is checking your performance, because if we will keep on telling you that this is how you have to do, until unless you are not performing, it is not going to be a fair deal. So for that, we will be taking on a constant basis your topic test. We will be taking mocks. We are going to conduct quizzes. We are going to give you case study, and a personality analysis will be done with you, because most of the time students are quite uh, confused about which area to go for. So personality analysis is going to give you a complete understanding about your personality, and it will be better for you to choose a best career. Now the last part is the final lab, wherein we are going to give you a crash course. Sessions like these strategic series that we have started for the CAT students and MBA entrance students. So these type of sessions are going to be conducted. Workshops we are going to uh, provide you with LRDI, VARC sessions, and with quantitative ability. Then exam strategies are going to be discussed with you, because every exam require a different strategy. Okay, so those sessions are going to be conducted for you. And the last one, which is very important, is your mock along with the analysis. So only giving mock is not going to help you until unless you have not analyzed your strong areas and your weak areas. Moving on to the next, our team, our strength. So starting with Rishi Chaurasia sir, who started with this session. Sir is having more than, as I've told you, 15 years of experience into quantitative ability and current affairs. I myself, Shweta Chaurasia, I'm basically a verbal ability trainer and more of mentor to the students at Vikal. We also have Praveen Wankhede sir. He's having more than 12 years of experience. He's from VNIT, and his area of expertise is quantitative ability. We also have Ruchi Jain ma'am. She's again having more than 12 years of experience, and she is taking sessions on VARC and book reviews. We have Ritesh sir, who is coming from an engineering background. He will be helping you out with quantitative and reasoning. We also have Shubham Dwivedi sir. He will be helping you with current affairs and static part of the GK. And sir is also engineer. So this is our team. And here if you'll see, most of the faculties are having more than 5 years or more than 10 years of experience. So you will be getting expertise trainers when you will be taking a training with us. Now moving on to our mentors who are a part of Vikalp for special sessions. So we have Sujit sir, who is basically a banker. He is working with Central Bank of India, and he is with us for advanced mathematics session. We also have Vikrant Joshi sir. He is basically a GDPI and written ability test expert with us, and he also helped for profiling sessions. We have Amar sir, who is joining with us today for VARC. Sir is having expertise in training students for CAT, ZAT, CET, GMAT, ZRE, and SAT. We have Manoj Sehgal sir. So last week itself, we did the session with Sehgal sir. He is a MTech from VGTI and he's a management graduate from Jamnalal Bajaj, having 24 years of experience. He will be joining us for LRDI sessions and quantitative ability. We also have Rishi Charya sir, Akash Rishi Charya sir. He is a critical reasoning expert with us. We have Amitava sir, who is basically a verbal trainer, but he also provide motivational sessions to our students. As we all know, friends, in this pandemic time, apart from the studies, it is very important to be motivated and that to be self-motivated with your preparation. So these kind of sessions we are going to conduct on a regular basis. Now, these are few exclusive features of Vikalp Education that you can see on your left hand side. And these are few snapshots from our classroom when we used to have physical classroom sessions. So we also do the Hindu review in our classroom. Along with that, lectures as per the schedule which is being given to the students. Now, talking about the material. So for material, if you're joining us for CAT or for any MBA entrance, you are going to get an entire help or assistance, I would say, in terms of material, in terms of online test, in terms of books, and everything we are going to provide to you. Okay, so we have Amar sir with us. Sir, are you there?
Yes, Shweta, I'm there.
Yes, sir.
Just have to
Sir.
check the angle whether I'm visible to you or not.
Okay, sir. Yeah, very good evening, sir. And thank you for being a part of Vikalp. So we are going to start with a VARC session today with you.
Very good evening, Shweta, and all of my friends who have logged in to interact with all of us. And it has been a pleasure for me to interact with all of you. And it's a very good experience for me also. So first of all, yes. So all of us, we know that with all the MBA entrance exams, mainly if you're talking about CAT or ZAT, etc., a major component is reading comprehension. Of course, we will be talking about your grammar and vocabulary building also. But what I feel a common thing in all these entrance exams is reading comprehension. And reading comprehension is a section in which most of the students find it very difficult. So reading comprehension is very challenging, and Shweta ma'am will. Okay, so today, first of all, we'll talk about answering the reading comprehension questions and how to attempt this section effectively and accurately, also within the time limit. Because all of you know that in reading comprehension, on an average, we get less than 2 minutes per question if you count that way. So within that time to read the passage and to answer the questions is really a very challenging task. But the thing is that once we practice, once we discuss some strategies and we implement those strategies in further classes, so with proper practice, you will be able to crack this section also. I'll discuss some strategies with an illustration, a passage which we have brought for you. And then we'll discuss some strategies and techniques. So first of all, Shweta ma'am will display the passage which we have prepared for the students. Yes, so this is a sample passage which is about dog fence that is in Australia. So first we'll read this passage, and following the passage, we have 5 questions. So these are not only 5 questions. Through these 5 questions, we will be discussing the techniques, the strategies which can be implemented in solving other comprehension passages. So at this stage, we will have just 5 minutes, and I think 5 minutes should be sufficient to complete the passage. And we have to read this passage. So all of you, please read the passage. You have 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I think 5 to 7 minutes is good enough. Read it, and then I'll discuss with you how we can implement skimming, scanning, and the process of elimination to answer these questions. So let's, the time starts now. We'll read it, and at 5:45 we are starting. So say 5:51, we'll start discussing the answers and questions. So I suppose everyone has read the passage. Okay. So now we'll discuss the first technique in your reading comprehension, which we call it skimming. Skimming is a technique in which we throw a bird's eye view on the passage and we grasp the main points of the passage. If I'm talking about the present passage that we read about the dog fence, so what are the main points of this passage? There was an area covered by the dog fence in Australia. Then initially the problem was that the dingoes and other predators would enter that area when the fence was not built, and they would kill the sheep and the kangaroos also. So the problem was that the sheep were necessary for the wool industry, but the kangaroos were unwanted. So when the sheep were being killed, the wool industry incurred some losses. This is the main point. Now, after the fence was built, the dingoes and other predators would not be able to enter the area. Since they could not enter the area, they were not able to kill the sheep population. So that is how it helped the wool industry. But the problem cropped up that even the kangaroos were not being killed. When the kangaroos were not being killed, another problem cropped up that the sheep did not get enough resources, because inside the fence now there are a lot of kangaroos and there are a lot of sheep. Since the resources are limited inside the fence and they are competing for the resources, then the sheep also will not get proper food or water or shelter. So that was another problem which had to be solved. So if we call it the theme of the passage. So when we throw a bird's eye view on the passage, we don't have to look for the minute details. This is a bird's eye view. Means you have to grasp the main point of the passage, what the passage is mainly talking about. If the passage is talking about some procedure, something, then we have to understand that procedure. Now here, how long the fence was or what was the extent, was the area covered by the fence, that is secondary information. So for the sake of passages for CAT or other examinations, in the first glance, we have to ignore the secondary information and we have to focus on the primary purpose, the main theme of the passage, which the author is talking about. For example, see, I'm sitting in a drawing room. So on the first glance, when I throw a glance in this room, I see there are some chairs, some tables, some tube lights, some books, and a cupboard. Now, if someone asks a question, how many chairs are there in the drawing room? So that becomes the secondary information, and I'll count the chairs only when there is a question to that effect. Otherwise, overall idea I have got of the room, what it is. So that is the mental picture that we have to make of a reading comprehension passage. Am I audible, Shweta? Shweta?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Actually, I didn't hear anything, so I thought I'm not
Yes,
audible.
sir. Yes, sir, you are audible.
So first we have to get the theme of the passage, and we have to make a mental map. Suppose I'm throwing a glance at the room, and then I'm closing my eyes. What things I remember? So that is the thing. In other words, it is said that you look at the forest, forget about the trees. Means what? You look at the whole idea, you look at the procedure, you get the theme, you ignore the secondary information. In case we need the help of any secondary information, we can go back to the passage, because once we have read the passage, then we don't need to memorize what is where. We have an idea and we don't need to memorize the facts of the passage. Just we have to understand it and we know what information is where. So whenever it is needed, we can always refer back to the passage. So once you have skimmed through the passage, once you have made a mental map of the passage, once you have got the main idea of the passage, then we will go to the questions. So let's see, for example, the first question I'm talking about. So here I'm not going to talk about 5 questions only. Actually, I'm going to talk about 5 major types of question which are going to be asked in your CAT and other entrance exams. So it's not just a passage we are doing, we are learning a process which can be implemented to tackle reading comprehension section in any MBA entrance exam, including CAT, XAT, etc. So for that purpose, let's see the first passage. First question, sorry. Please display the first question. I think it is displayed. Yes. The first question says that the passage is primarily concerned with something. So it is most likely that if you are reading a medium-sized passage or a long passage, there will be a question related to primary purpose. The wordings of that question may be like this. The passage is primarily concerned with what? Something. There will be options. Or it may be the primary purpose of the passage is, and then there will be options. Or it may be what is the theme of the passage. There will be some options. Or what can be a suitable title, heading of the passage. So indirectly, they are asking you the main theme of the passage, the main idea. What is the main idea of the passage? So once we have made the mental map of the passage, because the answer to this question does not lie in any particular part of the passage. So it is very difficult in that case to refer back to a particular portion and get the answer. That we have to use the skimming that we have done, the mental map that we have made, we have to refer to that. So once we have read the question, we'll read the options. Let's see the first option. The problem of overpopulation of large marsupials afflicting certain areas of Eastern Australia. So look, once we read it, so the wrong options will either have twisted information or they will have wrong information. So look here, the problem of overpopulation of large marsupials, that is there. But first thing, it is not the main idea of the passage. The main idea of the passage is how to protect the sheep, and then problem of overpopulation. Second thing, certain areas of Eastern Australia. So it is not about Eastern Australia's only. The dog fence covers, if you read, Eastern and Southern Australia. So effectively, this option is inaccurate and it is a minor point in the passage. You cannot say it is the main idea of the passage. So that we call process of elimination. Once we read the options very carefully one by one, then we can strike off that, okay, option A cannot be the answer. Then we'll go to option B. The conflict between environmentalists and ranchers over sheep grazing areas. So again, see, there has been a conflict between environmentalists and ranchers. But was it about sheep grazing areas? No, it was not about sheep grazing area. It was because the government decided to cull. Cull means to kill kangaroos in mass to protect the sheep. So that conflict, and that also there was a protest against the government's proposal, the government's action. It was not a conflict between the environmentalists and ranchers, first thing. Second thing, it is a minor idea. It is not a major idea. So it is, I'll say, of all the five, this is the worst option that we have. So we can strike it off. Now, C. Option C says that the challenges the dog fence places on animal migration. So look here. Yes, dog fence is there. It places some challenges. But does it relate to animal migration? If you have read the passage, if you have understood the passage, it is not to prevent the animal migration. It is about protecting the sheep and not letting the predators to enter that area covered by the dog fence. So again, and also this is actually a twisted point. This is not a point, so it cannot be a major point. Okay, so we'll strike this off. Then we'll go to option D, the role of economics in determining human manipulation of an ecological system. So look here. Among the options, you will have some points which are too broad and some points which may be too narrow. This example is of a point which is too broad. The role of economics in determining human manipulation of an ecological system. So here it is too broad because it is not talking about the dog fence. It is not talking about the sheep. It is not talking about the kangaroos. It is not talking about the wool industry. It is talking about an ecological system. Of course, dog fence is an ecological system, but you cannot say it is the main idea and it covers the main point of the passage. So even option D can be struck off. Now we go to option E, the positive and negative effects of the dog fence. Now, what do you think? The author has talked about the positive effects. What those positive effects are? First thing, the sheep are being protected because the predators are not able to enter the area, and that is how the wool industry has flourished. Positive points, positive effect. What is the negative effect? The negative effect, the major negative effect is that the kangaroo population also is not being killed. So can we say the passage covers the positive and negative effects of the dog fence? Yes, it does. And it covers the main point, and it is correct, and it is to the point. It is neither too broad nor too narrow. That is why after going through all the options, after using the process of elimination, and look here, when we use the process of elimination, we have to read the options also very carefully. You do not have to skim through it. You have to scan the options. So we settle at E, and the correct answer of the first question is E, and that is one type of question related to primary purpose of a passage. Now, we'll come to question 2. If you can all of you read this passage. Read this question. Question 2. According to the passage, the erection of the dog fence has contributed to all the following developments except. So this type of question is called a specific detail type of question. They're asking for some specific details, and this is a very tricky type of question. Each option has to be checked in the passage. Has it been given? If it is given, it is not the answer because look here, except is written in bold. So we'll check one by one and we'll see whether this information is given in the passage or not. Let's see the first example. A population boom among wallabies. Has it been given in the passage? Yes. It has been given in the passage because the author says that the kangaroo population inside the fence has increased, including wallabies. So we'll check these options. So I can show you the line also where the author has mentioned this. So that is the second passage from the bottom, the second bullet point, second paragraph, we can say, the bullet point from the bottom. I cannot locate the line numbers because in CAT passages, you will have the line numbers also. So it is more accurate for you to locate that. But see here, the kangaroo population inside the fence consisting of red and gray kangaroos and wallabies has exploded. It means the wallabies have increased in number. So means a population boom among wallabies has been given in the passage. Then the success of the Australian wool industry. This is the theme of the passage. Actually, this is a part of the theme of the passage. Author has said that because the sheep are not being killed, the wool industry has flourished. So it has been caused because of the dog fence. So that again cannot be the correct option because the question says all the developments except. So something which has not happened, we have to find out that. But B has happened, A has happened. So those cannot be your answer. Now let's see C, option C, where areas where the high concentration of sheep and kangaroos has caused overgrazing. So again, this is a part of the main idea of the passage. And that is the main problem because inside the fence, the number of sheep and the number of kangaroos have increased. And because of that, they are not getting enough food. It means it has caused overgrazing, and overgrazing is a major problem in the passage. So this is given. This has happened. Now, option D. It says that several $1 million worth of damage to the Australian wool industry. Has it happened or it has not happened? That we'll check. We'll keep it. E says protesters from environmentalists concerning Australia's treatment of its wildlife. So E also has happened because the passage says that the kangaroos were killed and there was some protest by the environmentalists. So one thing has not happened, which is damage caused by the dog fence to the wool industry. Now, we'll see some piece of information which is contrary to that. I'll just point it out to you, and that those lines are very important in this passage. I'll tell you the line number. So if you go to, if I talk in terms of the bullet point, 1, 2, 3. Yes, the first bullet point only. The first bullet point, the third paragraph. The latter half of the third paragraph, if you read. That the fence is necessary to the industry is demonstrated by the fact that when damage occurs, such as when 1992 rains caused flooding that destroyed parts of the fence in many areas, the punishment inflicted by the dingoes becomes exponentially worse. Means what? The fence is not creating damage, it is preventing damage. So there is a piece of information which is contrary to that. Option D. So in this case, the option which has not been included in the passage may be contrary to the given information, or it may be irrelevant, that we have to see. So here it is contrary to the information. It says that several $1 million worth of damage to the wool industry. No, it has prevented the damage, and that is why this piece of information has not been included in the passage. It has not caused damage. Actually, it has prevented damage. So in this case, the correct answer will be D. Now we will go to the third question. The third question says that the author of the passage probably mentions the 1992 flood damage in order to do what? So look here, 1992 flood damage, I have shown you that part of the passage where it says that the fence is necessary. And it is demonstrated by the fact because of the flood. I'll show you again that line. So this is a specific type, detail type question. If you talk about question number 3, we'll go to the portion where they're talking about 1992 flood. So that is a specific detail type of question. So in specific detail type of question, we can always refer back to the part where the answer lies. So let's see. Again, we'll go to the first bullet point. The third paragraph, the spacings are given. That the fence is necessary. That the fence is necessary to the industry is demonstrated by the fact that when damage occurs, such as when 1992 rains caused flooding that destroyed parts of the fence in many areas, whatever. So means the author is trying to show that the fence is necessary. It is essential for the wool industry. So let's see the options. Option A says that highlight the unreliability of the dog fence. So this is not the purpose of the author to include 1992 flood damage in the passage. He doesn't say that dog fence is unreliable. The dog fence was broken because of heavy flooding. So, but he doesn't hint that the fence is unreliable. Now, B says, so we can strike the first off, A option off. B says, convince the reader of the necessity of the wool trade to Australia's economy. So look here, first of all, the author is not talking about, it is being derived that yes, wool trade is important for the economy, but the author has not included 1992 flood damage to highlight the importance of wool industry to the people. He has included it to highlight the importance of the dog fence. So let's see C. So we can strike off option B. Now let's see option C. Give an example of how the dog fence manages to protect the flocks of sheep. So look here, this is a very tricky part and it may seem enticing. Many students are trapped in this option. So we can keep it. We'll see. We'll come back to it later. We'll keep it as a probable option that we have to do in CAT also or other exams. D says demonstrate the potential damage to the wool industry prevented by the dog fence. The author says that because of 1992 flood, a part of the fence was broken and so much of damage was caused. It means, just imagine if the dog fence were not there, then what could have been the condition? So this is a probable answer that also will keep. C and D. E says underline the savage nature of the dingo. So look here. Here the author is not underlining the savage nature of the dingo. Dingoes are predators and they kill kangaroos and sheep, that much he says. But it is, he has not mentioned 1992 flood damage to highlight that. Now we'll come to C and D. So this type of dilemma you can face many times while doing reading comprehension passage. So let's see, give an example of how the dog fence manages to protect the flocks of sheep. C says, so flocks of sheep, look, when we are talking about wool industry, it does not mean only the flocks of sheep. It means the people involved in that and infrastructure involved in that, as the author says. D says, demonstrate the potential damage to the wool industry prevented by the dog fence. Good, someone has highlighted that part. So again, we'll go to that part and then we see, because it is very important. So look, dingoes have been the enemy of Australia. The third paragraph of the first bullet point. Ranches almost in the first settlers arrived despite the dogs managed to cause efforts over last few years control dingoes. They are rapid. So that the fence is necessary to demonstrated by the fact when dingoes occurs, parts of the fence many and the funny thing is dingoes becomes exponentially worse, one of the most severe in Australia. So now here, when you read the second bullet point, the 1992 flood was one of the most severe in Australian history and the government provided disaster relief for thousands of inhabitants. Many of them sheep ranchers in the areas hardest hit by the rains. It means what? It means that wool industry does not mean only the flocks of sheep. It also means, it also includes the people involved in the industry and the infrastructure as per the passage. So give an example of how the dog fence manages to protect the flocks of sheep. No, it protects even the people involved in the industry. That is why we'll strike off option C and we'll go for option D, demonstrate the potential damage to the wool industry prevented by the dog fence. Now, when we come to question 4, according to the passage, the Australian government has had to keep the kangaroo population in check because, so that again we have discussed, why the Australian government had to keep the kangaroo population in check and why the government killed the kangaroos, and there was protest by the environmentalists. So it is very clearly, it is part of the theme that we have discussed, because when the dog fence was built, there was a competition between the sheep and the kangaroos over resources. And the government wanted the sheep to survive because the wool industry depended on the sheep. And that is why it killed the kangaroos. So now this much we know. We have made a mental map of that. So let's see. Let's go to option A. Overgrazing has damaged the soil in southeastern Australia. So look here. The author is talking about overgrazing, but not in terms of damaging the soil. The author does not say that overgrazing had damaged the soil. The author is saying that there is a competition and that has caused overgrazing. So, and because of this reason, the kangaroos were not killed. So we'll strike this off. Now, they have B, option B. They have caused damage to the dog fence. Look, the kangaroo, nowhere in the passage has it been mentioned that the kangaroos have damaged the dog fence. So this is a straightforward wrong option that we can strike off. C, the rate at which the species is reproducing has accelerated. So this is a very good trap I'm giving you an example of. Keep it. Most of you will say that this is the correct answer. And if you have any doubt, I'll discuss with you at the end of the presentation, means our interaction. But yes, we'll keep that. The rate at which, option C, the species is reproducing has accelerated. D says that there are now more kangaroos than sheep. This is also an enticing option. We can keep that also. Large marsupials use important resources necessary to the wool industry. And that is the correct answer. And I have seen most of our students make mistake in this question also. Because large marsupials here is what? Large marsupials is the kangaroos. So kangaroos use important resources necessary to the wool industry. That is the main idea of the passage. And that is why the government had to kill the kangaroos. So option E is correct. But yes, option E is correct, but we also have to understand why option C and option D are incorrect. So look here, option C is that the rate at which the species is reproducing has accelerated. So one question, why has the number of kangaroos increased inside the dog fence? Is it because the kangaroos are reproducing at a higher rate, or is it because the kangaroos are not being killed by the predators because the dog fence has been built? So if you look into the passage, you'll find out that the reproduction rate is not responsible because the kangaroos are not being killed, and that is why their number has increased. So that option is wrong. Now, D says there are now more kangaroos than sheep. So again, this is very, very good option, and this is a very good trap. The author is saying that the kangaroos the number of kangaroos has increased and the number of sheep also has increased. But is he saying that there are more kangaroos than sheep? Is there any hint in the passage? Is there any comparison between the numbers of kangaroos and sheep? No, there is no comparison. The point here is the kangaroos are using the resources meant for the sheep, and that is why kangaroos were killed. So that is why D option also is wrong and E is correct. Now I'll come to the last question, which is the fifth one, and then we'll go ahead. The fifth question says that the passage provides support for which of the following statements? The first one says that the dog fence has led to a steady deterioration of Australia's environment. So look here. Again, Australia's environment is too broad. So this option we can reject because we are talking about the area covered by the dog fence. B says before the dog fence was built, the dingoes preyed on kangaroos. It is given, yes, it is there in the passage, and it is an inference type of question. We have to infer from the passage. I'll take you to that part. So we go to the second bullet point from the bottom. Sorry, second bullet point from the bottom. This is partly due to another development, which is a problem itself. The kangaroo population inside the fence, consisting of red and gray kangaroos and wallabies, has exploded as the large marsupials, natural prey for dingoes, have had no enemies to keep their population in check. Yes, very good. So now it has been marked and it is being displayed on your screen. Someone is doing very good job. Thank you. So if you see, means what? When the dog fence was not there, dingoes would kill the kangaroo. Means has exploded as the large marsupials, natural prey for dingoes, have had no enemies to keep their population in check. So here the thing is that the dog fence has been built, and that is why the dingoes are not able to kill the kangaroos. What does it mean? It means that when the dog fence was not built, the dingoes were able to kill the kangaroos. So it is a very simple inference that we have to make. And now we'll come back to the question. Look, before the dog fence was built, the dingoes preyed on kangaroos. It is a very straightforward answer. But yes, we are on option B. So even if you get, this is another technique I'm talking to you. Even if you get a very straightforward answer, be a little cautious. Mark it mentally or on paper. But let's go through the other options also and see whether they make sense or not. C says floods prevented Australia's wool industry from turning a profit in 1992. So again, this is a very good trap. The author says that there were some damages because of breaking of the dog fence. But if you go to that part, which was highlighted earlier, you have read it, the author is not saying that the wool industry did not earn any profit. He said there was some damage, but he didn't say that there was no profit. So this is a very good trap, but the author is not saying that there was no profit. There were damages, means the profit may be there. So that we can strike off. Option D, uncontrolled overgrazing could endanger Australia's wildlife. So look again here, uncontrolled overgrazing by whom? Australia's wildlife again, this is a too broad an option, so we'll reject it. They're talking about the area covered by the dog fence. So, and it is could. So means it can happen. The author is not talking about that. Option E, the dog fence was originally built by Australian ranchers to prevent the flocks of sheep from leaving a certain area. So look here, this is actually twisted. It has some wrong information. So it says that originally built by Australian ranchers to prevent the flocks of sheep from leaving a certain area. Was it the purpose of building the dog fence? No. The dog fence was built so that the predators do not enter the area and kill the sheep. So this is factually wrong, so we cannot take it. We have to reject that right away. Now, then we'll go to option B. Very clearly, before the dog fence was built, the dingoes preyed on kangaroos, because the passage says that now since the dog fence has been built, the dingoes are not able to kill the kangaroos. So our option, correct answer is B. So these were the steps that we have discussed. And if, of course, we'll practice more passages in the classes, just we are showing you the way we have to implement, we have to practice more, and then we'll master a technique. We are just introducing it at this stage. So means what? 3 points, very important points. Again, I'll just repeat. First, skim the passage, make a mental map, take the main idea of the passage. Do not go into the deeper details, because whenever you have any question to that effect, you can come back to that part of the passage, scan that portion, and write your answer. And mainly in the specific detailed type of question, the way we saw 1992 flood damage, and we went to that portion, we read that portion again, and we answered the question. So we actually scanned that. So first we skimmed, then we scanned, and then after we established the answer rather, then we come back to the question, and we used the process of elimination, and we read the options one by one, and we rejected the wrong answers. So wrong answers will be either twisted, or in some cases they will be a minor idea, or they will be wrong, or they will be irrelevant. So that we have to use the process of elimination, and then we have to go through all the options very carefully, and then we have to settle at the correct answer. So that was reading comprehension. If there is any question, any query, of course, we can discuss at the end of the interaction. Now, again, there are many exams. We'll talk about building a better vocabulary. Yes, that's good. Many MBA entrances will have some questions related to word power, words. You will have antonyms, you will have synonyms, and other types of questions. So building a better vocabulary, first of all, it is a long-term task. You have to inculcate some habit on your own to build a better vocabulary. And of course, in the classes, we'll discuss when you know the meanings of the words and how you can relate it to some options when you're going for antonyms or synonyms. Those techniques we'll use, and we'll show you in classes how you can reach the correct answers and mark the correct option. But here we are talking about building a better vocabulary. So I have written an article somewhere, it was published, on Let's Play with Words. That is the name of the article. Let's play with words. So you start playing with words. How you can do it? Look, I'll tell you something based on my personal experience. While I was a student, I used to read some newspapers and magazines. So that part, I'll come back to it. So read newspaper and magazine. How to use it, I'll come back to that part. Then there is a very good book, if we can display it, Word Power Made Easy. This is a very famous book, and it is useful. But I will caution you against one thing. This book is a small part of your preparation. Do not think that you have completed Word Power Made Easy and your vocabulary is complete. Not at all. It is useful. Go through the exercises, learn the words, and that's keep on other things also, whatever you are doing, but do not entirely depend on this book. Use this book as a part, not the whole. Then again, when we are talking about grammar, there are many questions related to grammar. So this is a very good visual that I see. These are the important parts of grammar if you see. Prepositions, articles, tenses, verbs, adjectives. These are important. But yes, I will not advise you to read grammar and go to definitions and all those things. For CAT and other MBA entrances, you need functional grammar. Functional grammar in the sense you should know how to use it. There is no need to go into definitions and other things. You should know how to use the language, how to use the grammar. Of course, we will be giving you a capsule type, some rules which you can refer to, which can be discussed in the classes. And then some exercises will be done, and then grammar will be taken care of. Now, there are certain things that I'm going to suggest to you which will help you in almost all, if you talk about. Look, whether you are going to improve your reading comprehension, whether you are going to improve your grammar, whether you are going to improve your vocabulary, or if you are going for your group discussion and personal interview, it is going to help you there also. And overall, once you crack these exams, your overall English will be much. So first I'll talk about newspaper editorials. So take my word for it. While I was a student, I used to read the Times of India. Look, while I was a student, there were two major newspapers in my small town. One was the Times of India and one was the Hindustan Times. And while I was a student, there is a funny reason for me selecting the Times of India, and that was because on the front page, it was written the Times of India. And on the front page of the other, it was written Hindustan Times. And that was the reason the newspaper which cannot write its name correct, how can it be a good news? Well, look, I'm sorry, I'm not speaking against any newspaper, but that was the reason for me to select the Times of India and not the Hindustan Times. So means the point here is that you must read any good newspaper, whether the Times of India, the Hindustan Times, the Indian Express. Nowadays, I'm reading the Indian Express because I'm getting the version very easily. But you can read the news, you can read sports section, you can read entertainment or whatever. Make it a point to read the editorials of a good newspaper. Editorials of a good newspaper, at least. It may be the Hindustan Times, it may be the Times of India, it may be the Indian Express, it may be the Hindu, it may be the Statesman, but a good newspaper. And read the editorials. When you read the editorials, you will learn how to skim. That will help you in reading comprehension. You will learn new words. Whenever you get new word, you can just underline, you can see in the context what the meaning of the word is. Look here, I'll tell you, many simple words can have different meanings and complex meanings in a sentence. For example, I'll just give you one example. Let's see a word dot, D-O-T, dot. So you can see many meanings of dot are there. I read somewhere, I was reading a passage. It was written that many islands dot the Indian Ocean. And then there was a question, what is the meaning of the word dot in the context? And there were some options. So in that case, the meaning of the word dot was spread. Many islands spread through the Indian Ocean. So there the dot means spread. So any word or many words rather can have different meanings. You should look at different meanings, different shades of meanings. That's very important. Now you have a dictionary very handy. So you read the words in the context, you understand the meanings, and in that context, what the meaning of the word is, that is very important. Again, it will be very difficult for you to remember certain words. So do not say, sir, I read it, I learned it, I forgot it. No, keep it reading. Once you come across a word, you forgot the meaning. Keep on reading, that word will appear. It will strike to your mind. And a time will come when you will not forget it. So keep on reading, keep on practicing. Also, there is one technique to learn the words, which is very important, I'll tell you. Again, making a mental map. Some words you are reading and you assign that word to some person. Some words you assign that word to certain place. I'll give you just one or two examples. Austere, Austere. Austere means very simple. Austerity, very simple. Moderate in your lifestyle or whatever you're doing. So whenever I remember that word, I read that word, Mahatma Gandhi comes in my picture. He led an austere life. I cannot forget this word. I'll give you another example. Cacophony, Cacophony. 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 Look here. Now, again, the words have figurative meanings and literal meanings. So I'll tell you first the literal meaning of the cacophony. Of course, you know that, but I'll discuss with you. Cacophony means crowing of the crows. Kauon ki cow cow. That is cacophony. That is the literal meaning of cacophony. Now, when we use this word figuratively, then any sort of that kind of sound, that discordant sound, we can say, that is not pleasing, is called cacophony. So whenever I read this word, I remember the live telecast of the Indian Parliament. Look at the scene it is being presented. What kind of noise is made? That is cacophony. So this way you can assign certain words to certain incidents, certain people, certain things. You will not forget. Keep on reading the newspaper, some good magazines, maybe in India, I used to read India Today or The Time or any financial magazines that can be suggested to you. Here it's written, famous business magazines in India that you can read. You can read some novels also, if you like. When you're reading the novels, mark the difficult words, learn those words. I had a student, he used to say that, sir, मैं हैरी पॉटर पढ़ता हूँ और मैं देखता हूँ कि हैरी पॉटर्स के जो भी उसमें वर्ड्स बहुत सारे यूज किए हुए हैं ना, वो कहीं ना कहीं आते हैं पैसेजेस में या एंटोनिम्स इन इंप्रेशंस में. I said, good. So if you are reading any magazine, any newspaper, any novels, read those things. But I stress more on a good newspaper, because if you do not read it today, tomorrow morning, another will come. You can postpone reading a magazine for maybe 15 days or a month. You can postpone reading a novel for a month or so, but you cannot postpone reading a newspaper. If you do not read it today, tomorrow another will come. So of course, different techniques, different strategies will be discussed in the classes and implemented. And this was just a glimpse of what we can do and how we can do. It is not all, because we have to go deeper. We have to implement those things. We have to discuss everything with you. So that's all was there. Now, if someone wants to ask any question, we can answer. Otherwise, we'll sign off.
Thank you so much, sir, for the insight that you have given to our students. Sir is having more than 24 years of experience into VARC section. So I hope students, it was really beneficial for you. In case if you have any questions, please message me in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and you can ask the question. Okay, sir, I got a question from one student asking that while reading comprehension, while solving the passages of reading comprehension, is it important to read the passage first or the questions first? So how the pattern should go?
Yes, in some exams, you have that option to read the questions first. So this is a very common question asked by the students. And it is very subjective. It is my strategy to give an option, both the options. You yourself try. In one case, you skim through the questions first, read the questions first, and then you go to the passage and then you answer. This is case one. In case two, you skim through the passage, you read the questions, you answer them. and you see what suits you better. For me, both strategies are equally good. For me, both strategies are equally good. You have to devise this technique and find out which one is better for you.
Sir, I have got one more question from the student. He is asking that which are the good books that you will recommend to the students for reading purpose?
Good books means good books for competition, a particular competition, or improving overall English. Like in which sense? Do you have that information?
Sir, improving overall reading skills, basically.
Improving reading skills. So in that case, I will not recommend particular books. I have recommended like reading newspapers, magazines, since you will be going into corporate world, reading financial magazines. I used to read Reader's Digest. If you see, a small sized magazine used to come, Reader's Digest. I used to read that, a good newspaper, and some novels. I cannot recommend you any particular book for that purpose. Shweta ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think that's all from students. And anybody who wants to ask any question to Amar sir? I think, sir, it was a good kickstart for our students for a VARC session. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening our students. And we will look forward for many more sessions in coming days.
Thank you, Shweta ma'am, and thank you, friends. Maybe we'll interact again sometime. Thank you. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, friends. So I think you might have understood that how VARC section is important for you. And then there are a few tricks which you can apply to reading comprehensions. And sir has also given you an insight on how to improve your vocabulary, how to improve your grammar section. So further in these sessions, we are going to deal with all these topics in detail. So quickly moving on to this slide, I am showing you a application which is really helpful to you. So you can go to Google Play Store. You can download our Vikalp Education application, wherein you are going to get number of tests on aptitude that is really beneficial for you. So these are few of our success phases that we have produced. Okay, friends, any questions that you have regarding Vikalp or anything that you want, please feel free to ask. Okay, so one last announcement from my end. We are starting with a new batch from tomorrow itself for CAT and other entrances. So if you are willing to join us, you can call me on the number which is given here, 9595212711, or you can text me on 9022994507 for any further queries. Okay, Shivani, fees and everything, I'm just going to send you, or I'm going to call you and we are going to discuss. For which course you are asking, Shivani? Can you please be specific? For CAT or for any other entrance? Shivani, you can unmute your mic and we can have a discussion. Okay, Shivani, I have your contact number. So very soon I will call you and we will have a discussion on it. That's all from my end. Thank you so much, friends, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much.